Assalamu alaikum. Welcome everybody. We are thankful for you to spend your time with us, either live now or on recording later, as we celebrate the honorable life of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam Ali alayhi salam. May Allah grant all of us the privilege of visiting him in our lifetime and raising us up with the honor of his shafa'ah in the afterlife. We are excited to learn about the beautiful lessons from his life this evening. First, I will ask Sayyid Sadeed Jawad to recite from the Holy Qur'an.
Thank you very much, brother. Assalamu alaikum. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم. عما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم الذي هم فيه مختلفون. كلا سيعلمون ثم كلا سيعلمون. ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا والجبال أوتادا وخلقناكم أزواجا وجعلنا نومكم سباتا وجعلنا الليل لباسا وجعلنا النهار معاشا وبنينا فوقكم سبعا شدادا وجعلنا سراجا وهاجا وأنزلنا من المعصرات ماء ثجاجا لنخرج به حبا ونباتا وجنات ألفافا. إن يوم الفصل كان ميقاتا. يوم ينفخ في الصور فتأتون أفواجا وفتحت السماء فكانت أبوابا وسيرت الجبال فكانت سرابا. إن جهنم كانت مرصادا للطاغين مآبا لابثين فيها أحقابا لا يذوقون فيها بردا ولا شرابا إلا حميما وغساقا جزاء وفاقا. إنهم كانوا لا يرجون حسابا وكذبوا بآياتنا كذابا وكل شيء أحصيناه كتابا فذوقوا فلن نزيدكم إلا عذابا. إن للمتقين مفازا حدائق وأعنابا وكواعب أترابا وكأسا دهاقا لا يسمعون فيها لغوا ولا كذابا جزاء من ربك عطاء حسابا. رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما الرحمن لا يملكون منه خطابا. يوم يقوم الروح والملائكة صفا لا يتكلمون إلا من أذن له الرحمن وقال صوابا. ذلك اليوم الحق فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه مآبا. إنا أنذرناكم عذابا قريبا يوم ينظر المرء ما قدمت يداه ويقول الكافر يا ليتني كنت ترابا. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Sayyid Sadeed. Now I would like to ask ICCF board member, Dr. Katayoon Shahinfar, to give us the latest update for the coronavirus vaccine.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I just a few minutes before the program, I was checking my emails and I just came across the email that I got from the Medical Society. Just want to let you know that as of March 15, the next tier would be in California, would be individuals ages 16 to 64 with the following medical conditions. So that's regardless of the age or their job. So cancer patients, chronic kidney disease, chronic lung disease, Down syndrome. So a lot of our patients are included. I have one that's getting his vaccine. Immune compromise, people with weak immunity, transplant patients, pregnancy, sickle cell disease, heart conditions. So people with history of heart failure or coronary artery disease, cardiomyopathy, severe obesity. This is also interesting because in our community, we have individuals that are a little overweight. They're including body mass index of over 40 and then type 2 diabetes. So if you know of anyone, friends, family who have these conditions, starting March 15, they're vaccinating them regardless of their age. So just stay tuned. My patient, the one who has Down syndrome, his mom, I just talked to her. She said that she went to the Fresno County Department of Health and she filled out the notification form, which I think you're all familiar with. You just fill it out and under the condition, you just have to put down like obesity or Down syndrome or heart disease, and then they will notify you. So this is something new that just came out.
Thank you, Dr. Shahinfar, for that update. Inshallah, we move to vaccinate more of our population so that we can all go back to a normal semblance of life where we can celebrate our imams in person. And now back from Karbala, fresh back from Karbala, visiting the imams and bringing back the blessings of the imams to share tonight on his first program back with us. Please welcome our Imam, Sayyid Ali Ghazvini.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salamu ala ashraf al-anbiya wa Sayyid al-Mursaleen. وخاتم النبيين الحبيب المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين وصحابته المنتجبين. All the praises is due to God, the Lord of the universe. May the peace and the blessings be upon all the prophets, especially the Prophet of Islam and upon his purified progeny and the believers of his companions. Thank you, Hajj, for your introduction. So good to be back. To see these blessed and wonderful faces on this occasion, the birth date of Imam Ali alayhi salam. I'd like to say, may Allah make this occasion a blessed one for all of you and for all those who love and follow Imam Ali alayhi salam. May Allah make this occasion an occasion of peace and security and spirituality for the whole world, inshallah. Imam Ali alayhi salam left behind a wealth of knowledge and wisdom. As he was the student of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Prophet said about him, about himself and about Imam Ali, "Ana madinatul ilm wa aliyun babuha." I am the city of knowledge, and Ali is its gate. So the student was Ali, the teacher was the Prophet, peace be upon them both. And because of that, Imam Ali has left for us a treasure of beautiful wisdom and knowledge, as they are valuable today, as they are valuable they were valuable at time. As you know, Imam Ali has ruled the Islamic State for about 5 years, 5 years and 3 months. The time that he ruled and he was the head of a state, he also presented a wealth of resources and beautiful examples of excellent governance for communities, for nations, for any country. A beautiful and a great examples of public administration and public policies as well, Remember, he was the head of a state of the biggest country at that time when he became the ruler. The Islamic State was from Central Asia all the way to Africa, from the borders with the Roman Empire, all the way again to Yemen and Africa. So a huge state. Imam Ali alayhi salam, during these years, he presented a few principles. Principles not strange and not foreign to our faith and the tradition of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But he was very firm in practicing, adopting, and implementing these policies. He would not compromise. These principles were to come first. He would not compromise these principles for the benefit of a personal interest, of any other interests. This is why Imam Ali is a hero, not only for Muslims today, but for the whole universe. Today, I would like to talk about one of his policies during these 5 years and 3 months that he was the head of the state. He implemented many policies and principles, such as protecting the rights of citizens, and especially the rights of the vulnerable and marginalized citizens in the community. He also honored the freedom of expression and the freedom of dissent. He would protect and honor the rights of those who used to criticize him and stand and talk against him. He would say they have the right to say what they believe and be protected. He also was a firm advocate of justice within the community, justice for everybody, especially for the poor, especially for the weak elements of the society. But the policy that I would like to focus on today is fighting poverty. Possibly I need to talk for hours about the history of Imam Ali alayhi salam in fighting poverty when he was the leader of the state. But I will talk for a few minutes, maybe inshallah during the month of Ramadan, as we commemorate his martyrdom, we'll talk more about this policy, because today I believe the whole world is facing a major problem, poverty everywhere. United Nations says there are about 3 billion people in the world. Unbelievable. This is a huge number. Almost 3 billion people in the world with an income less than $2 a day. So this is a major problem we are facing today, and this is why we should raise awareness about fighting poverty and be inspired by heroes like Imam Ali, how they during their time they fought against poverty. So he implemented many policies. From the first day he became the ruler. And one principle that he started from the first day was the principle of equal distribution of wealth within the community. You know, Islam introduced a concept, a financial concept or an economic concept called Baytul Mal, the house of a treasury, where all the taxes, religious taxes such as zakat, are gathered in a fund, and then this fund would be distributed among the citizens or among members of the community. Every community, every village, or every city within that members of that city or that community. So when Imam Ali alayhi salam became a ruler, he said one of his principles, he declared that one of his principles is that the share of every citizen of the community, the city, in his case, Medina, would be equal to one another. So he actually assigned one of the Prophet companion, Ammar ibn Yasir, to be in charge of the House of Treasury and wealth distribution. He told him, next day you go to he gave him the keys, you go to the Baytul Mal and give every citizen of the city 3 dinars. Dinar was the currency at that time for the state. And Ammar ibn Yasir says, he said, I went the next day, I gave every citizen, within a few days, every citizen 3 dinar, and amazingly, the amount of money was in the House of a Treasury was equal and enough for every citizen of Medina to get a 3 dinar. Historians say that the population of Medina at that time was 100,000 people, and it seems that there were 300,000 dinar in the House of a Treasury. This principle of Imam Ali alayhi salam made some people unhappy. Why? Because they used to get more. The way this fund used to be distributed was not equal. There were people who were privileged because of certain aspect, maybe because they were a family to the ruler, previous ruler, and the previous Khalifa. And this principle of Imam Ali alayhi salam made a lot of people, those who used to receive more share of Baytul Mal, some of them became unhappy. They actually lobbied to get more share, but they failed. Imam Ali alayhi salam said, not only will I stick to this policy and would not compromise it. In fact, all the money that has been given unfairly and differently to different people, I will take it back, return it to the House of a Treasury. And this actually made a lot of people upset. They did not want to give back the money that they have taken more than their own share. Imam Ali alayhi salam, possibly you've heard his famous statement. He said, لو تمثل لي الفقر رجلا لقتلته. If poverty were to become a man, imagine, were the poverty to become a man, I would definitely kill him. This actually shows how Imam Ali was very serious about fighting poverty. And also it shows how serious Imam Ali his understanding about the impact of poverty on individuals and community. We know poverty impact communities, impact their health, their education, their behavior, may increase the rate of violence and insecurity within a community, and it creates a lot of problems for the society and for the state. So this is fighting poverty was one of the most important policies of Imam Ali alayhi salam. And the first principle to fight this poverty is to give every citizen of his society an equal share of the funds from the House of the Treasury. That this was his first principle. The second principle that Imam Ali alayhi salam has implemented during his time is collecting the zakat from the wealthy. This was something that is started with the Prophet ﷺ when the command of God came in the Qur'an to collect zakat as a religious tax from the wealthy in the community, not from the poor. The wealthy of the community they have to give a percentage of their income, of their wealth, to the Baytul Mal, to the House of the Treasury, and then this amount of funds that are collected were to be distributed again in the community. So that the purpose of this religious tax is to create a fair distribution of wealth within the community. Imam Ali used to say, إن الله سبحانه فرض في أموال الأغنياء أقوات الفقراء. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it, has mandated on the wealthy people, on the rich, a share of their wealth for the poor. And he said, فَمَا جَاءَ فَقِيرٌ إِلَّا بِمَا مُتَّعَ بِهِ غَنِي. So whenever a poor person goes hungry, this is because a wealthy person have decided not to share his wealth. This is how Imam Ali saw the problem of poverty and hunger within the society. If there is a hunger, most probably because a wealthy person have not shared what he has or she has to give away to the poor out of their wealth. So he emphasized on collecting the zakat and redistributing it among the poor. The other principle of Imam Ali alayhi salam during his time is to give financial aid to the old, to the sick, to the widow, to those who cannot work. Today, this act is called Social Security or retirement. Those who work for a period of time, and then when they get old or when they spend many years working, after that they get retirement. Imam Ali alayhi salam has introduced this concept 14 centuries ago, especially when he became a head of a state. He used to see Imam Ali, by the way, he would not sit in an office and wait for people or his aides to come and bring him reports. He would walk in the street, go and see people, live with people. So he would, while he walks in the street or in the marketplace, he would see a lot of poor people, for example, those who are sick, those who are asking for help and money. He decided for those people would be additional share that make them have enough resources to live a life with dignity without having to ask people for support or begging. So this concept of social security within our faith is an old concept. It goes to 14 centuries ago, and Imam Ali alayhi salam was one of the pioneers of introducing this. And he said, this concept applies for everyone within the community, regardless of their faith, their age, their gender, their race, and their ethnicity. It doesn't matter where he or she is from. They are entitled to, as far as they are old, or they cannot work, or they are sick, or they have lost an income, they are entitled to receive support from the house of the treasury. The other principle that Imam Ali alayhi salam used to practice and implement during his time was to supervise and watch the prices of merchandise at the marketplaces, especially essential items, staples. Those are the essentials for people, for consumers to consume. He would walk in the marketplace every single day. And, you know, it seems when we study history, it seems that marketplace was divided into different areas. For example, butchers would be in one place. Those who would sell garments would be in other place. Those who would sell date would be in other departments, so on and so forth. So he would walk through the marketplace and talk to all of those different store owners and give them advice and tell them, for example, as he walks, Ya ahl al-suq, ittaqullah. Ya ma'ashar al-tujjar, ittaqullah. Oh, the shopkeepers or owner of stores, or you, the merchants, be mindful of God and the way you treat people and the way you make transaction. He would tell them, accept a small margin of benefit, no problem. If you accept a small margin of benefit, God will increase his barakah and blessings on you, and you will get a lot of benefits. Today, this theory or this method actually practiced by many larger stores. They actually get their profit not from a big margin, but from wholesale. When they reduce the margin of profit, they increase their amount of sale. So by increasing the amount of sale, they actually bring a lot of benefits to themselves. This is exactly what Imam Ali alayhi salam introduced 14 centuries. He would recommend to the merchants, reduce your margin of a profit. This way, God will bring you more barakah and more a profit. You will increase your sales, and eventually you'll increase your profit as well. One day, as he was walking in the street, in the marketplace, he saw a young lady crying. He approached her. Why are you crying, young lady? She said, my master told me to go and buy some date. I bought some data from this man. I took it home. My master didn't like it. He said, go and return it to the shop, to the owner of the store. And now this owner of the store is not accepting to take back the date and give me my money. And I fear my master, he might get upset with me and angry with me. So she was crying. Imam Ali went to the owner of the store, told him, would you please take back your date and give back the money to this lady? The owner of the store, since he did not know Imam Ali, he became angry and told the man, it's none of your business. And actually he pushed the Imam back. He pushed him physically, he pushed him. People around, Imam Ali, by the way, would walk alone. No bodyguards, no security personnel. He would walk alone. So people, if they do not know him, they do not know him. They have not seen him. They do not know him. However, there were people who knew the Imam. When they saw the store owner pushing the Imam physically, they told him, hey, do you know this man? This is the head of the state. This is Amir al-Mu'mineen, the commander of the faithful. The man, shocked. He was shocked. And he said, I'm terribly sorry. He started apologizing. He said, I'm not only giving the money back to this young lady, I also give her the date as a gift. So the date is for her, and I'll give her back her money. And then he told the Imam, are you pleased with me now? Imam said, I'll be pleased with you if you deal with your customers in a fair and just way. You have to be mindful about the way you treat your own customers, not because I am here. This should be your policy all the time. Be mindful and treat your customers well, regardless of, somebody is asking you or you are fearing the punishment of a government employee or the head of state. Yes. And finally, Imam Ali alayhi salam used to call on people to be very modest in the way they consume things. He used to say, wasting resources would be depriving people, other people, from these resources. He said, he used to say, ما رأيت نعمة موفورة إلا وبجانبها حق مضيع. I have never seen people enjoy a lot of resources. And sometimes when they waste these resources, they are depriving others from these resources. They are wasting these resources, so others will not be benefiting from these resources. So he always emphasized on being very modest and using the resources available for people. So the additional resources would be used for by other people, and he would start from himself. Imam Ali alayhi salam, when he entered Kufa, the capital, his new capital, he was riding his mule, his donkey or a mule, with his own personal clothing. When he entered Kufa, he said to the people there, in his sermon, I entered your city with my own clothing and with my right, this right. If the day I leave you without something more than this, more than my personal clothing and my right, know that I am committing a treason, that I am in fact stealing your resources. When Imam Ali alayhi salam died in Kufa, in the mosque, when he was killed in the mosque, he owned nothing, only his own clothing and his own right. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to receive the shafa'ah of Imam Ali alayhi salam, enable us to be inspired by his wisdom and his teachings, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to visit his shrine during our life, and enable us to receive his shafa'ah in the hereafter. Again, I would like to say, may this occasion be a blessed occasion for all of you, brothers and sisters. May Allah enable us to be inspired by his wisdom. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I would like to recite Fatiha at the end, but if there is a comment or a question, I'll be glad to hear.